What is going on, everybody? FJC here, back with another Delta Force video, and today you guys are going to learn everything you need to know about the operators in the game. But before we get started with the video, I'm going to get this boring stuff out of the way. Do me a favor, check out my Twitch and my TikTok, both linked in the description, as well as make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload banger content like this. So there's about 2 weeks left in the playtest, and currently there's 6 operators in the game, but I genuinely feel like some people aren't completely understanding the roles and what these specific operators are meant for, so I thought I'd make this video to go over them completely in depth. Currently in Delta Force, you have your assault operators, your medic operator, your defensive operator, and then your recon operators. Each operator class also has weapons that are very specific to them. As an example, the medic operator gets submachine guns, which other operators don't have. The defensive operator in the game also gets access to battle rifles, which are exclusive to them, as well as light machine guns. And with the recon operators, you're going to get access to sniper rifles as well as marksman rifles, which are DMRs pretty much. And the recon operators are the only class in the game that get access to the SG-552, which I do plan to make a dedicated video on. Each operator gets 3 skills in total, one being a specialty skill, as well as each operator has their own passive ability. Let's start out by taking a look at our first assault operator, D-Wolf, and what skills he has to offer. As D-Wolf, your specialty skill is a motorized exoskeleton, so you enable the wrist-mounted activator to overload the exoskeleton's power. This increases your sprint speed, as well as knocking down enemies restores HP and extends the duration of the motorized exoskeleton. I really love this ultimate ability because it suits my playstyle well, and this character in general really suits my playstyle, as majority of the time I'm trying to W key into the enemy spawn. Next up for D-Wolf, we have the triple blaster, which is pretty self-explanatory. Equips the triple blaster and fires high explosive grenades by pulling the ring with your index finger. The grenades can stick to vehicles, but honestly, they don't do a lot of damage to vehicles. D-Wolf also gets a tactical smoke grenade, which is essentially an impact smoke grenade. This means wherever you throw the smoke at, whenever it hits an object or the ground, it'll automatically explode and smoke will appear upon impact. And last but not least, if you ever wanted to act like your favorite Warzone streamer in Delta Force Hawk Ops, D-Wolf is the man for you because his passive trait is slide canceling. If you guys are looking for a character that you can get a lot of kills with and has a lot of movement around the map, then D-Wolf is definitely the guy for you. We are now moving on to our second assault character, Vyron. Vyron's specialty is a grenade launcher that when enemies are hit by it in the vicinity, it knocks them on the ground. He's also given a pretty decent movement mechanic that's called dynamic propulsion, which basically propels you into a direction whenever you press V. This one skill has helped me win so many gunfights by creating a different angle because of it. Unlike D-Wolf, who gets a smoke grenade, Vyron gets a magnetic bomb, which is essentially a C4 on a short time limit. These magnetic bombs are extremely useful against vehicles, as well as throwing the magnetic bomb in a large group of players can be extremely rewarding. And lastly, Vyron's passive trait is a dynamic auxiliary system, which essentially reduces fall damage as well as increases movement speed. Next, we are moving on to Stinger, who is currently the only healer in the game, and so far throughout this playtest, he is my personal favorite operator to use. Stinger gets a high-tech healing pistol, which locks onto friendlies to automatically heal them by pressing left click, and by holding X, you can also heal yourself, injecting a needle into your own arm. It does regenerate a little bit slowly though. Next on the list for Stinger, we got his smoke screen, which sends out 3 drones that makes a giant wall of smoke. This is extremely useful when moving from cover to kind of block yourself off from the enemy's line of sight, as well as if there's a large group of friendlies that you do want to heal, this is extremely useful to use as well. When using the skill, if you are to hold down left click and turn your mouse left and right, you can also create a path for the smoke screen, so if you wanted to bend around a certain building, that can be done as well. On top of the smoke screen, Stinger also gets a Hive-Tech smoke grenade, which also has a special ability. When shooting the Hive-Tech pistol into the smoke grenade, it creates a giant smoke cloud. And last but not least, Stinger's passive trait is Expertly Rescue, which essentially just cuts the revive time on a downed teammate by half. It's roughly around 4 seconds to pick up a downed teammate on any other operator, but with Stinger, it takes around 2 seconds. The next operator on the list is Shepard, which is the only defensive operator in the game currently. The main use for Shepard is to combat against vehicles and aircrafts, as he is the only character in the game that is equipped with rocket launchers, getting a Javelin, a Stinger, as well as an AT-4. Shepard's main skill is a sonic drone that I like to compare to the Guardian turret from Black Ops 2. And the description of the skill Sonic Paralysis is deploys a sonic drone ahead to suppress enemies and reduce their fire rate through acoustic pressure. The drone will destroy enemy sonic devices that resonate with it and interfere with recon devices. Press and hold the gadget button to deploy the drone on the spot, sentry mode. He also gets a sonic trap which attaches to walls and surfaces like Cypher's trap from Valorant, but this trap is extremely lethal. If you run over it without realizing, you pretty much get one shot. You can also choose to activate the trap manually by looking straight at it and holding F. As for Shepard's throwable, he essentially gets a stronger version of a frag grenade. It's called the enhanced frag grenade, which does more damage to ballistic vests and exposed limbs. And lastly, as his passive trait, he gets sonic defense, which uses the hand device to generate anti-phase sound waves to reduce damage from blast waves, aka flak jacket, meaning he just takes less damage from explosives. And like I mentioned earlier, Shepard is the only operator who has the ability to use rocket launchers. You can see me here using the Javelin, as well as he's the only person who has a repair tool in the game currently. So if you hop out of a tank with him, you can end up fixing it. The second last operator we're taking a look at, but the first one in the recon category, is going to be Luna. Throughout this playtest, Luna is definitely the most used operator in my opinion, and she's definitely the most overpowered. And the reason for that is her ultimate ability is a detection arrow. This essentially fires an arrow that detects all of the enemies. You pretty much just have to look up and shoot it over a mountain, and the entire enemy team is marked. And just as a side note, I thought it's funny to mention this character is practically Sova from Valorant. Proving my point that this character is Sova, her next ability is the Volt Arrow, which fires a Volt Arrow with a bow. It's an arrowhead that generates electric currents to deal damage over time. And you can even press right click so that the arrow rebounds one time. Luna also gets an enhanced frag grenade like Shepard. And lastly, her passive ability is that enemies that she tags, so if you are to hit an enemy one time with a bullet, it will mark them for a short period of time. And the last operator we're going to look at today is Hackclaw. She can only be obtained by playing the DMZ or the extraction version of the game, so make sure you guys complete all the challenges so you get access to this operator. Her main skill is a signal decoder, which periodically scans for up to 3 enemy electronic signals using a decoder and displays these signals tracking paths on a contact lens. The path closest to you will be displayed in red. The higher warning level the enemy receives, the closer you are to a Hackclaw. The next ability that Hackclaw gets is a flash drone, which is pretty self-explanatory. The description says deploys a drone forward, producing a blinding flash of light against enemies within range. When you aim at the decoder's trajectory, the drone will fly along the selected yellow trajectory, meaning that you could set a path for this flash drone. Hackclaw's throwable is called the data knife, meaning she is the only operator in the game to have a throwing knife. The description of this data knife is throws the data knife to hack into nearby electronic devices on impact and briefly disable them. Direct hits on enemy will also deal significant damage. And the last thing that I'm gonna mention is Luna and Hackclaw, being the recon operators, are the only operators in the game that have respawn beacons. So if you guys are heavy into flanking like I am and really want to set up a nice spawn point, they are the operators to do so. So that is everything that you guys need to know about the operators in Delta Force Hawk Ops. If you guys want to see more content like this, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, as well as if you could please leave a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. As this video premieres, I will be live over on my Twitch, so click the first link in the description and head on over to watch me play Delta Force live. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, much love.